POV. You are a German soldier at Stalingrad. The year is 1942. Winter has not even fully arrived yet, and already the cold has started killing men faster than the enemy does. You are a German soldier, 22 years old. 6 months ago, you marched into the Soviet Union, believing the war would be over by Christmas. Your officers told you Stalingrad would fall in days. That was 3 months ago. You are still here, and Stalingrad has not fallen. Stalingrad has become a graveyard that swallows entire divisions and asks for more. You don't recognize the city anymore. There are no streets left, only rubble. No buildings, only skeletons of concrete with snipers hiding inside them. The Soviets call it Rattenkrieg, the Rat War. Fighting for a single staircase, a single room, a single wall, gained in the morning, lost by nightfall, taken back before dawn. You have learned things here that no training could have prepared you for. You have learned that a city can eat an army. You have learned that silence is more dangerous than noise, because silence means someone is close enough to kill you without a sound. You have learned what it feels like to watch a friend disappear into a doorway and never come back out. Your unit started with 140 men. Today, you count 31. It is early morning when the order comes. Your company is being sent to retake a building near the Volga River, a grain elevator that has changed hands 11 times in the past 2 weeks. 11 times. Men have died for a pile of concrete and wheat dust, over and over, and today it's your turn to try again. Your sergeant, a man named Voss, who has survived since the first week of the assault, checks your equipment without speaking. He doesn't give speeches anymore. Nobody does. Aces are for men who still believe in something bigger than the next 5 minutes. Move in threes, he finally says. Never alone. If you get separated, find a wall, and don't move until you hear German. You nod. Your rifle feels heavier than it did in training. Your hands are numb, though you can't tell if it's the cold or the fear. The whistle blows. The advance through the rubble is slow and silent. Every doorway is a potential grave. Every pile of broken bricks could be hiding a Soviet soldier with nothing left to lose. You move the way Voss taught you, low, fast, covering each other, never crossing open ground without someone watching your back. Halfway to the grain elevator, gunfire erupts from a collapsed building to your left. One of your men, a boy from Munich who turned 18 just last month, drops without a sound. There is no time to grieve. There is only time to survive. You return fire toward the muzzle flashes, and for a few seconds the world becomes nothing but noise and smoke and the desperate hope that the next bullet isn't meant for you. When the shooting stops, you don't know if you hit anyone. You never do. In this kind of war, you rarely see the men you're fighting. You only see the results. Voss signals to keep moving. You leave the boy from Munich where he fell. There will be time for the dead later, if there is a later. Pum. By the time you reach the grain elevator, your group has shrunk to 9 men. The building looms above you, scarred by 100 explosions, its interior a maze of collapsed floors and burnt grain that still smells faintly sweet beneath the smoke. Inside, it's worse than the streets. No natural light. No clear lines of sight. Every step could be your last, and every corner could hide a Soviet soldier just as terrified and just as desperate as you are. You clear the ground floor room by room. In one corner, you find the remains of a Soviet position, spent shell casings, a torn jacket, a photograph of a woman and a child, half burned. You don't know who she is. You don't know if the soldier who carried it is alive or dead. You put the photograph in your pocket anyway. You're not sure why. A noise from the stairwell freezes everyone in place. Footsteps, multiple, coming down. One and I whim. Voss raises his hand. Wait. The 9 of you press against the walls, weapons ready, breath held. The footsteps grow louder, closer. Then a voice, in Russian, calling out something you don't understand. Another voice answers. They don't know you're here. Voss counts silently on his fingers. 3, 2, 1. The next 60 seconds are a blur of muzzle flashes, shouting in 2 languages, the deafening crack of gunfire trapped inside concrete walls. When it's over, 4 Soviet soldiers lie in the stairwell. You've lost 1 more of your own, a man you didn't even know the name of, transferred into your unit only 3 days ago. You climb the stairs anyway. There's no other direction to go. Pities. By the 3rd floor, it's just you, Voss, and 2 others. The grain elevator's upper levels give you a view over the ruined city, the Volga River in the distance, gray and cold, the only route of retreat or resupply for the Soviet forces trapped on this side of the city. You understand, in that moment, why this building matters so much. Whoever holds it can see everything. Whoever holds it can call in artillery on anything that moves. That's when the barrage starts. Soviet artillery, ranging in on your position, because someone on the other side made the same realization you just did. The building shakes. Dust and debris rain down from the ceiling. Voss screams for everyone to get to the stairwell, to get below the artillery's reach, but the exit you came from is already collapsing under the impacts. You are trapped on the third floor of a burning grain elevator in the middle of Stalingrad, with Soviet artillery finding its range with every passing second. For a moment, just a moment, you think about your mother, about the letters you haven't written in 3 weeks because there hasn't been time, or paper, or hands steady enough to hold a pen. About the small farm outside Dresden that you used to complain about having to work on and would now give anything to see again. Voss grabs your shoulder and pulls you toward a gap in the far wall, a hole blasted open by an earlier shell, leading to what might be a way down, or might be a 40-foot drop onto rubble. There's no time to check, there's only time to jump. You land hard. Pain shoots through your leg, but nothing feels broken. Voss lands beside you, and together you drag each other toward the nearest cover as the grain elevator's upper floors finally give way behind you, collapsing in a cloud of dust and fire. Of the 9 men who entered that building an hour ago, 3 of you walk out. That night, back in what remains of your battalion's position, you sit against a broken wall and try to eat something that used to be bread. Your hands still shake. They will shake for a long time. Voss sits beside you in silence. Neither of you speaks about what happened. There's an understanding between soldiers in Stalingrad that doesn't need words. Everyone has lost someone today, and everyone will lose someone again tomorrow. You take out the half-burned photograph from your pocket. The woman and the child, the one that belonged to a Soviet soldier you never saw and never will. You wonder if she's still waiting for a letter that will never come. You wonder if, somewhere outside Dresden, your own mother is holding a photograph of you, wondering the same thing. You don't know it yet, but Stalingrad is only going to get worse. In 2 months, the Soviets will encircle the entire 6th Army. Supplies will stop coming. The temperature will drop below anything you've ever experienced. Of the men who marched into this city with such confidence 6 months ago, most will never march back out. But tonight, you are alive. Tonight, that is the only victory that means anything. You close your eyes, and for a few hours, the guns fall silent. Soundheim. Montetary dot. Monterterine. It was a war of rubble, cold, and boys who stopped counting the days because counting made it worse. Montetary dot. Asterisk asterisk. If you were him, trapped in that grain elevator, with no way out but a 40-foot drop, would you have jumped? Monterterine.